Guys, this is Courtney from Ruby Red Farm. It has been quite a while since we've done a video, so I figured I'd give you guys a nice spring update. So it is mid-May here in East Central Indiana, and this is the time of year for us where we need about 27 hours for every 24-hour day, and of course that's just not how it works. We are incredibly behind, if I'm being completely honest, or at least it always feels that way in May. We are just now getting the garden tilled, which is about a month and a half later than last year. Also finally getting some things out into the garden that again would have happened quite a bit earlier normally. That's okay though, we're really content with how things are going overall. Our farmers market starts in about 2 or 3 weeks, and so that is just looming heavily over us right now as we're trying to get just anything that we can take to market ready. So at the moment we have about 350 laying hens. About 150 of those are our younger hens that are still not quite laying yet, but they've really done very well and most of them have been super healthy. We are hoping to get eggs from them by about mid-June, hoping really to get it by early June, but we're trying to be realistic. We'll say about mid-June to late June. We got them back in January, so they should be laying really any time now, which is very exciting. As it stands, we get about 14 or 15 dozen eggs a day, and with one small sign in our front yard, we stay sold out, and we are an empty fridge every night by the time we get home. So really grateful for that, but it's a little bit overwhelming sometimes when you feel like you're just not quite producing enough for the customers that you have. But we know that relief on that is right around the corner with those younger hens. For meat chickens, we have about 150 on the property right now. We decided to really scale back this year on the meat chickens, and we're doing batches of 75 instead of batches of 100 at a time. And so we're gonna end up doing about 350 chickens for meat this year. Last year we ended up with a little bit of a surplus, which was wonderful, but we only have so much freezer space. We will have quite a few more customers, we hope, this year because our market is gonna be having double SNAP dollars, which makes our chicken effectively half price for anyone that uses food stamps. And so really optimistic that we'll sell more chicken this year, and we're just seeing if that pans out or not. Scoot! As for us and our lives in general, our kids are growing like weeds, but so are the actual weeds. So we have been just teasing apart our schedule to find any time we can to work here at home in the garden. We have had me coaching track this spring. I teach a class in the spring 1 night a week. That's over now, thankfully. Track season's winding down. We've only got a few more meets. My husband's been taking his master's program, and so he's been very busy with that. We've also then had the kids in ball and other sports, and so they've been really busy. So again, I realized this week, I sang at church on Sunday, we've got ball games Monday through Thursday, track meet Friday night, and then finally on Saturday we should get a little bit of time at the house. So very challenging when you work full time trying to make this life happen. We are doing the best we can and we're content with that. But unfortunately, it doesn't leave much time for the YouTube hobby that we really do enjoy doing. It's just not realistic when we both work full time. So don't worry, channel's not going anywhere. We're gonna keep on making these videos. They're just gonna be few and far between here in this really busy season. And then hopefully, as summer hits and ironically things kind of wind down for us, we'll be able to make more videos a little more consistently for you guys. For right now though, I'm gonna get a few things in the ground and we'll call it a pretty successful day here. So he tried tilling and realized that the ground was really just too hard for that this year. It's been an off and on year with rain, so he decided to go ahead and actually plow it this year. It had been about 2 or 3 years since we plowed it, so he's gonna get it nice and broken up and then we'll till it afterwards. We added all our manure, so we're adding a lot to this soil before we break it up. The garden is finally tilled on May 11th. It took us about a month longer to get it done this year than last year. But it has rained almost every weekend. And again, we work Monday through Friday, so Very, very grateful for the first really warm, dry weekend that we can finally get some things done. Looks great though. You hear squeals of delight in the background. It's these two goofballs, so just ignore that. This section here is our hot pepper patch. So this is really just the ones that are meant to be spicy. We keep them separate from the other peppers so they don't accidentally cross-pollinate and create spicy bell peppers. We're trying to avoid that. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these guys in the ground. I learned hard the first year that I have got to label these because I cannot tell them apart. So I did start these from seed. I had better luck this year. Last year I ended up having to buy most of my pepper plants from the store, which was very disappointing. This year we've had really good success. Very happy with these plants. I'm gonna save about 5 and I'll try to sell those as plants at the market, but I think 12 is a good number for us. We sell a lot of jalapenos. We're hoping to sell a few to that restaurant, and so I'm hoping that 12 plants will be the magic number. And if not, we can always plant more later in the season. You can tell it's my first time out this year. My legs are as white gets right now. My version of the farmer's tan most years is that only my forearms are tan. I should put my shoes back on. They kind of hurt without them. This next pepper is called garden salsa. It's one of my absolute favorites. We grow quite a few of these every year. They're kind of taste like a zesty green pepper. It's kind of hard to explain, but they're very good. We didn't get any last year because we had to buy plants from the store, and this variety isn't available at the store. So really excited we had better luck this year. Going to be planting 6 of them this year. Now this bed in particular, I actually spread quite a few leaves on it in late fall, might have even been into the winter. I spread quite a few leaves that had gathered on our porch all throughout, and then they decomposed and now we've tilled them in. So this dirt should be in a really good place here for this season. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and water these in so I don't forget to do it. He's spreading out our free mulch. This was the mulch that we got from our friend. That'll be our pathways. So he needs to take a break. You need to take a break. Huh? Yeah. Winding down here, I've got cayenne peppers. These, of course, are pretty spicy. We're gonna only grow 3 of these. We just don't sell too many of the hot peppers. Most people just aren't interested in them around here. We live in the Midwest. The main thing people really want are bell peppers. And so anything we can grow that's close to a bell pepper typically does well. Then these cayennes, every now and then we get somebody interested, but we end up a lot of times just freezing them or putting them into our salsa that we'll make every year. So really more for us than anything. All right, last ones here are Anaheim peppers. These are a top seller for our market. They sell really well. I've got 6 plants here. I'm gonna hope all of them do well. And then the rest of these extras here, I'll just sell as plants at the market. Alrighty, that is my hot pepper patch. Looks like I'm gonna end up with 27 hot pepper plants this year. I can take it. All right, one last step we're doing this year. I'm gonna spread out this hay to act as a mulch for these peppers. I'll go grab a little more, but this has actually worked really well where we've tried it in the garden. And so we're gonna try to go ahead and spread this hay out and see if we can get these weeds to be a little more under control this year. I am running out of steam in a hurry here, and I think Brandon is as well. So let's see if I can get anything else done today before I run out of steam. pretty simple trellis thing. Just a few T-posts and some honk panels. He did decide to finally get some newer ones because our old ones were falling apart. They're not expensive and these will last us quite a few years, but we're gonna grow snap peas and some pole beans on these. We've got 2 more panels to go. All right, trellis is complete. I wanted it to be tall enough that I could walk in here. I think it's almost tall enough you just about could. So, like I said earlier, this is gonna be where I plant snap peas and pole beans. We haven't planted pole beans in a couple years just because they really haven't sold well. But we'll give them one more try and see if we have any luck this year. A lot of people ask for them, but then when it comes time to sell them, a lot of people just don't buy them. We're gonna plant snap peas every year. My complaint with snap peas is that my trellising isn't high enough, so we'll see how high they can actually go. And then I like sometimes just having these as a walkway. That's probably what I'll do. But if I really want to, I could plant cabbages in here, but we'll see how the season goes. All right, last job of the day is gonna be planting these bell peppers. So I do plant these with the rest of my garden over here. I have all sorts of different colors, but mostly just giant red, green bell peppers. They do great, they sell awesome. I like to grow purple too. Bell peppers really are a top seller here in Indiana. We're not too creative with our diets around here. And so people like familiarity, and it doesn't get more familiar than a bell pepper. Alrighty, gonna water these in, but I gotta go take care of the animals. All right, these guys go in about a week and a half. They're getting to be humongous butterballs at this point. I am probably gonna add some netting later this week and give them about a week and a half of even more grass access, but they're doing really well. It's been a great batch. So we just moved these guys last night to fresh grass. They are living the dream right now. We actually just recently invested, and this is our first time using taller netting. We got some taller netting here. It's 4 feet tall. Trust me, my 5'5" self can just barely get over it, but it works really well. We're just trying everything we can to keep the hens in a little bit better. We've had a lot of problem with hens getting out lately. And a lot of it is because of those teenager chickens still being so flighty. As they put on weight, it should get better. But our netting was getting a little worn out anyway, and so it was time, and we thought if we're gonna upgrade, we might as well get 4-foot netting this time. The plan then is to put the 42-inch netting around the garden. So we're gonna make good use of it, and we end up, seems like, never having enough netting around here. So really excited to get another batch of that. It's a very exciting place around here right now. Ladies. This is the time of year I get pecked at a lot. Everybody goes broody in the spring. I know, she's yelling at me. I know, she bit me. All right, relatively low egg day. Only got about 12 dozen. And I'm gonna go ahead and sign off there. I'm gonna go and get these eggs washed, get them packaged for tomorrow. I am got a lot to do this week. I may end up having to make a second video out of it. I'm gonna end up planting probably for at least 5 or 6 hours to get everything caught up. But happy to finally at least have enough time to pause and make a video for you guys. So thanks so much for sticking with us. If you haven't yet, please make sure to hit like and subscribe. We really appreciate you guys watching. This was Courtney from Ruby Red Farm, and I hope you all have a great day.